doing some work on the old rear end here. I'm gonna pull these pieces off, take that off. I do believe I have to cut this off too, but for right now, I'm just gonna work on cleaning it. I got my wire brushes out. I'm gonna have to use a needle scaler on this to get most of that stuff off. Otherwise, after I paint it, it's just gonna chip off. I mangled this bushing, the upper control arm bushing. I mangled it up, trying to get it off with the wrong tool. I was using the ball joint removal tool, which that's the right tool, it's just I got the wrong pieces. So I gotta go get some adapters for that so I can get that out. But this is a quad shock setup for the Mustang. So quad shocks got one shock going this way and one shock going up and down like that. So this part here is going to be probably taken off completely. I'll once I get this brake cover off, get the axle out and the wheel cylinder out, I'll take this off and I can get in there and use my cutting wheel and cut that off, get this bracket all the way off. But that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Got the axles out.
Okay.
Got the 4 lug axles here. I'll replace those. Now I gotta tear this off or take it off. Take the dust covers off, drum brake dust covers off, and take the differential unit out, get it ready for rebuild. Got everything out of it. Scrubbing it down now. It has a couple spots of grease. That little nub right there is grease. And then there's another one down in here. And then you can see that one there. That's got to come off in order to paint it. Otherwise it'll start peeling. The paint won't sit there. It'll just kind of come out. So it's covered with diesel fuel, transmission fluid, and I can't think of the other crap we're using. But that's what's working on it right now. It's slowly coming off. Just about got it all off though. Vinegar. We got vinegar in there too. All right, so now we're sandblasting it. Got quite a bit along here around the diff itself. The tubes really need more. It's getting dark now. It's getting a lot cleaner. Sandblasting it bare, so it's quite invigorating. All right, so now we're sandblasting it. Got quite a bit along here around the diff itself. The tubes really need more. It's getting dark now. It's getting a lot cleaner. Sandblasting it bare, so it's quite invigorating. Freaking sand's hitting me all the way back here. It's not done yet, but it looks a lot better. Got all up inside here, inside this area here. Been using these bits. I'm just wiping it all out right now. Not a finished clean or anything. Big bore brush. Well, here's the Ford 8.8 rear end so far. Slowly cleaning it up. Gonna put a paint job on it. I got all my stuff here for it. And my friction modifier. Got a diff cover with a girdle. There's my diff. And 355 gears there. And the bearings and everything there. There's my axles right down there. And my axle bearings and seals. So right here's the whole rear end. This is the bell housing. Don't go there, it's just sitting there for now. Just sprayed it down with some engine degreaser, not even a full can. Most of what's coming off here, there's a little bit of grease, but most of what's coming off here is rust. But either way, it's really looking good. Once I dry it up, it'll look a whole lot better. Trying to keep it out of the center. I'll use brake clean on that later on. But yeah, it's looking pretty good.
You didn't know I was there? Wow.
Back down. I might have my bike in it, but this is the strong shit right here. It's all clumped at the bottom. I definitely like the color. Should have done a little bit more. You can tie it in with a tack cloth. It's funny. This is the second coat, and it has been on here for 38 minutes now. Still glossy as hell. course, I didn't put nothing on the floor, so jacked my floor up. I love the way this Eastwood paint lays down, man. Not one run. Even when I got into these nooks and crannies. Tomorrow night when it dries, or when the 2 coats are dry here, I'm gonna flip it over, bring it down to that level, and then paint. Probably go over this one more time on this side, which I know I got that good, but and then get the rest of that out of there. But for the most part, she's completely coated and coated thick. 2 coats, 20 minutes in between. These are those 2 guns I got. This gun is the newer one. This is the older one. They're the same part numbers, but I see why this one here is better. It's newer. They changed a few things. This one here, I had to do some cleaning of threads and a bunch of other stuff, but these guns are very easy to use. This is your paint flow from the hopper. This is your fan angle. It spreads it out, thins it out, and then this is the air. How much air comes in, but I just use this and it works a whole lot better as far as getting the right amount of air. 8 psi is all this thing puts out. It works great. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. Of course, it's not dry yet. We'll see how things go. This was my practice spray to make sure I had the fan right. I had it real wide, then I brought it down narrower right there. I think I started on this side. Yeah, I started on this side and it was pretty wide. Well, first it was spattered and stuff because I didn't have enough air to it. And then that was real wide there. Then I narrowed it out. I went with that bottom one right there. Been sitting for 20 hours. That's like glass. Still shiny. Very glossy. It turned out really good. I gotta let it wait 20 minutes, let it sit, and get a little bit drier or a little tacky, and then put another coat on the back side of this diff. Been 20 hours since I did the back. There was some overspray from when I did the front, so with Scotch-Brite I scuffed it up, just the back part, scuffed up the back part, back of this tube, all around through here, across through here, these shock perches here. Did 2 coats, 20 minutes in between, just like recommended by Eastwood. And so far I'm loving the way Eastwood paints work. no runs. It's like glass. It looks like it's wet. I mean, that's just crazy how it looks wet. And it's pretty hard too, from what I see. Because when I was scuffing it, it didn't want to take a scuff very well. All right, got my rear differential back. This is the 83 to 94 Fox body rear end that I pulled out of my donor car, ripped it apart, and went and got 355 gears, and I got axles over there. I got to put those in, but I can't do that yet because when the kit comes, it's got the disc brake brackets that go on here, and they slide over the axles. So I'm gonna wait before I put those on. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this girdle on. And I just lubed this up a little bit. You can still see it's still got the marking crayon or dye or whatever you want to call it. And I just coated everything with some gear oil because it's gonna sit for about 6 months, I guess. A little less than that now before the kit comes. So everything's coated in there to keep it from rusting up. And I'm gonna stick this on now. All right, girdle's in place. It's pretty much what it'll look like when I go to put it in the car. Clean it up a little bit, but it's good to go. I'm gonna put the axle bearings and the axle seals in here. Once I do that, I have to put the studs in the axles here. I gotta get out of here one-handed. Beat the studs in here. And I can put these axles in. Went with 5 lug rather than 4 lug. Alright, got one side in. Got the bearing in there. And got the seal. Here's the other side. I'm getting ready to put that in now. Since this rear end's going to be sitting for a little while, at least 6 months, made a little bore brush, or a little oiling bore brush anyway, with some gear oil. Got it coated really good on the inside so I don't get any rust. Rear end is ready to go. When the kit gets here, I will put the brake brackets on here for the rear disc brakes. I've just installed the seals and bearings, put the studs on the axles there. So I'm not putting those in yet because since this was rebuilt, I have to put these clips in the inside. So I have to take this girdle back off, get inside, clip these on the axles. So can't do that yet until I get the brake bracket to put on both sides. But for now, the axle is completely ready to go. Once those brackets come from the kit, I'll install the brackets on both sides, put the axles in on both sides, put the clips in, and then fill it up with fluid, and then adjust this girdle, tighten it down, and then it'll be good for the first 500 mile break-in period before I change the fluids again on it.